This is the Hbada X7 and this is the E3 Pro. And you might be wondering, why would one be more than twice the price of the other? Short answer, some super smart tech and extra features. So let's talk about it and see which one is right for you. From an aesthetic standpoint, these two are pretty similar. We're getting a modern and clean design and both fit really well at my main workstation or the gaming room. Now, as far as assembly, the instructions were easy to follow. Each chair took me about 10 to 20 minutes to put together, and it's something that I'll only have to do once, so it's not a big deal. Now, both chairs have metal legs and nice casters that work well on hardwood and carpeting, and I like that they don't roll too easily, so you're not flying across the room if you have tiles or hardwood flooring. Moving on up, we have the footrest, which is really more of a leg rest because you're resting your calves on it rather than your feet. It easily extends out from the chair, it flips up, and then it creates a nice and soft platform for your legs to rest on. If you've never had this in a chair, you gotta try it out. It's amazing when you're reclining, but I even like it as a change of position during long seated editing or gaming sessions. All right, so up until now, we haven't seen a ton of differences between the two chairs, but that's about to change. When we get to the seat, both use mesh, but the E3 Pro uses what Habada calls high density performance mesh, and the X7 uses high density cloud-like mesh. Both actually feel nicer than my Herman Miller Aeron, and there are no plastic edges. I do feel like the X7 mesh has a more premium look and feel, and in addition to the passive cooling, there are actually dual fans built right into the seat. They have 3 power settings, and these fans really move some air, which makes a huge difference if you're working in a hot room. If you're curious about the power source, there's a 5400 mAh battery, which is rated for 3 hours of full power usage if you're using everything I'm going to tell you about, but in reality, it lasts longer. To charge the battery, there's a magnetic charging cable which protects the port in case of an accidental pull. And there's also a USB-C charging port, which is great for things like mobile gaming because the port and the cable move with you as you swivel or move around. As far as adjustability, the E3 Pro uses one lever for the seat depth adjustment, so that's front to back. And then there's another lever that you can pull up to adjust the height. And that same lever is also used for locking or unlocking the reclining of the backrest. There's plenty of angles, and overall, with all the different components of the chair, I think the E3 Pro has 22 possible adjustments. The X7 uses a more sophisticated lever where all the adjustments can be made by placing it into one of 3 positions. When it's pulled all the way back, you unlock the reclining feature, and both chairs recline to 140 degrees, which is super nice. And of course, you can lock the X7 at different angles by bringing the lever back to the middle. Now, on top of this, Habada says that they're using a weight adaptive tilt system, which adjusts the reclining resistance based on your weight. This way, a person who is lighter doesn't have to work super hard to push the seat back. And finally, you can adjust the X7 front to back as well, so you should be able to get the seat in any position that you want. And I like that with the X7, there's one physical lever for all of these adjustments, so I'm not having to hunt for the right one, and it's always accessible. I also like that as I lean back, there is not a noticeable gap in the back, and I don't come into contact with any hard materials that could make it uncomfortable, which is something that sometimes happens with other chairs. Now, finally, Habada rates both chairs for users between 4'11 and 6'5 and weighing up to 330 pounds. Now, to control the electronic features of the X7, there's a wired remote control. It's super easy to operate, it auto retracts, and it magnetically stores when it's not in use. Now, this brings me to the lumbar support, which is super adjustable in both cases, but there are some major differences. So with the E3 Pro, you're getting an 8D lumbar support, which you can move in and out and lock at various positions. You can move it up and down, and you can also adjust the wings by rotating them internally or externally to get the exact feel that you want. With the X7, you can still manually adjust the lumbar support up and down, and you can use the remote to move it in and out. But then we get to some really smart features like auto adjust lumbar support. And Habada says that they're the first brand to apply AI to ergonomic chairs. Basically, the X7 uses pressure sensors to detect the pressure in real time and then automatically move the lumbar support in and out to adjust for your needs. And you can still control the level of pressure sensitivity for the perfect support. I wasn't really sure if I was going to like that feature, but it actually works really well because as you make subtle movements, the lumbar support moves with you and you don't have to constantly be making adjustments. And the X7 also remembers your last pressure settings, so it works automatically the moment you sit down. Now next, we talked about the cooling feature in the seat of the X7 when the room is hot, but what do you do when it's cold? So the X7 has heating pads integrated into the wings of the lumbar support and 8 red light therapy beads incorporated into the support itself. The support gets nice and warm, the wings get even hotter, and it's really nice if your office is cold. I've also used red light therapy as part of my rehab for various injuries, and I'm curious to see how this will play out long-term for my lower back. Now, if you want more of a physical experience, the X7 actually has 2 built-in massage heads that will work your lower back while you're sitting. I've never had this experience in an office chair. There are 3 levels of pressure, and in case you're curious, the massaging mechanism only extends when that feature is in use, so you don't feel them at any other time. Now moving on, the E3 Pro has 6-way adjustable armrests. You can move them up and down, front to back, closer or farther away from you. You can also rotate them in and out. And then one of my favorite features is this upward tilt, which is perfect for mobile gaming, which I do a ton of. I can rotate these in, flip to front up, then I have much better support for my arms even when I'm reclining. And again, this is super important for long gaming sessions. The X7 armrests are a little bit different. They also move up and down, they move front to back with a larger range of motion, and they rotate in and out, but with a lot more versatility. So the pad itself can rotate 360 degrees, but then the part that's under the pad can also rotate 360 degrees. So you can bring them closer or farther away from you while they're rotating, which pretty much means that you can position them at any angle that you want. And then when you're ready for it, the whole pad can be tilted up, again, if you're reading, watching content, or gaming. Now moving on to the backrest, it's a pretty similar experience with the X7 and the E3 Pro. Both can be moved up and down, both are firm and supportive, and the most noticeable difference is the mesh. Okay, so before we get to which chair is a better fit for you, let's quickly talk about the headrest. And the good news is that it's the same with both chairs. It's a 4-way dual axis headrest, which means that you can tilt it up or down, you can move it up and down, you can move it forward and backwards, and it also has adaptive tilt, which slides when you're reclining to automatically account for the angle of your body. I don't have a headrest on my Herman Miller Aeron, and that chair also doesn't tilt this far back, but now that I have a headrest, I really appreciate it. It's so nice to be able to put out the leg rest, fully recline, and then just relax in both of these chairs. So who should consider one of these chairs? Anyone who sits for long periods of time, whether it's at work, a home office, or if you're gaming, make sure that you take care of your back. Overall, I would rate the E3 Pro as a nice and comfortable chair, and I would rate the X7 as an even more comfortable chair. If you want a super adjustable chair, you like the aesthetics, you're okay with manual lumbar support, you get the same head and footrest, and you're looking for a more affordable option, pick up the E3 Pro. If you want all the premium features like built-in heating and cooling, the auto-adjust lumbar system, the built-in massage and red light therapy, a USB-C port, more adjustable armrests, a nicer mesh, and a more comfortable option, go ahead and grab the X7. You know what I always say? Buy it nice or buy it twice. Good luck and see you soon.